Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to another Super Saturday. My name is Colli Butler, and my partner Sandy Cohn is also on the line with us. And today we're going to go through some training, getting started, and new distributor training. Talk to you a little bit about some systems. And what I'd like to do is I am recording this entire webinar, so it'll be available for your review and to share with other people. And during this, I'm covering basically 3 different trainings that I'm going to take out the recordings for each training individually and make them available separately through my power system. So you'll hear me pause and then introduce the next section of the training. I also want you to know that in this training, I believe in being generic because there's many different systems and tools and ways to build this business. And I'm going to let you know what we do, and what I believe is that you follow your leader. And for many of you, we are your leaders also, but there may also be other leaders that you're working with. And if you have a leader that you're closer to, like your sponsor or the first or second, upline, somebody that's a close leader that is building successfully and that offers you great support and leadership, then all the information that I'm sharing with you is generic enough to apply to anything. However, if you're not specifically using a specific system or tool that is working for you and that you don't have an upline working a specific system or tool, then I want you to know that everything that I'm talking about applies to my power system as far as being able to invite people to take a look. Because what we want to do with this business is when we get started, we sign up, the first thing we're going to do, and we're going to cover all of this, is make a list and contact people and invite them to take a look. And when we invite them, we use tools. And in using those tools, there's a lot of tools available. I mean, you can find videos on YouTube. We don't usually recommend YouTube simply because whenever you send a YouTube video out to somebody, over on the right-hand side, there's paid advertising. And what many companies do, the competitive companies, will actually put Zango as a keyword so that if anyone's looking at a Zango video, over on the right, there's something negative by the competition to entice them to not look at Zango and to look at what they're doing instead. So it's not a very safe way to build the business. However, it is a way. It is a tool that can be used. On Facebook, there's corporate pages on Facebook. We've got pages. My power system has a page on Facebook. And on Facebook, we share videos. And then again, you can share those videos on Facebook with other people. But the best way to build is to have your own system that you're sending a tool from where the only thing they can do is respond to you. Not sharing something that somebody else created or that's on a YouTube account where then they can go to that person's YouTube account and they can see other people who've commented on that video and then look for other leaders, look for other prospects. Now, oftentimes when you are working with warm market, that's not an issue. But as we're building this business and we contact people, they Google us. They Google us. They Google the company. They Google the products. So we're in a world today that we need to have posture and we need to protect those prospects from being enticed away to think that, hey, well, I kind of like what I see, but this person over here is a multi-million-dollar earner. And going away, or this person says this company is not the best company, that this other company is better, and going away, or whatever it is. So we highly recommend that you use my power system because it is your system and your tool with a lot of amazing tools and videos and audios and media packs that do presentations on product or opportunity, and training like this is something that you could send to a brand new person. Again, the specific part, as I do this 3-part Super Saturday today, each one you could send just a 10 or 15-minute training about this specific thing to a prospect from your system, your marketing site that you send a prospect to, or when you send tools from, and you look so professional because the tools and the marketing sites are very professional. So that's what we recommend. However, once again, when I go through this training, I talk about contacting people and sending them the information. Just understand you could apply that to anything. Back in the olden days, we used this very same system has been working for decades and decades and decades and decades in network marketing. 25 years ago, we were sending VHS videotapes at $20 a pop would be the tool that we would use to send to a prospect and have them take a look at it. And then eventually came the audio cassette tape, and then DVDs and CDs and MP3s, and now we have amazing videos for free. You can send out hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, thousands of them every single month, all for your $20 or $30 a month subscription. So more on that, but first I'm going to go through each of these training modules. Getting started in Zalo. You know, there are various ways that you can get started in Zalo, and it really matters how you start your business, because the first thing that a new person needs to do when they first sign up is they need to develop a belief in the product, and they need to develop a belief that they can make money. Because without those two beliefs, there's no way to be successful. See, if we don't believe we can make money and we're out there trying to talk to people about it, we feel like we're not in integrity, like we're lying to people. It doesn't feel good. It kind of feels icky, and so we don't like it, and it doesn't last very long. Very interesting. I've spoken to many people some people that have such a huge belief in the industry, and other people have no belief whatsoever. And the difference is they said, I've tried it before. Well, if you're trying it without the belief, you won't be successful, and that's why you would end up failing. But if you are doing it because you do believe and you know, then you're going to be successful, and it's really all about that belief and that posture. So how do we get that belief? Well, first of all, we have to try the products to know they really work, because when you first hear about them, they sound amazing, and so you're going to try them and see if they work for you. Now, they might not, you might not notice a significant difference in your life for 30, 60, 90 days, or even longer. So how long are you going to be committed to try that product to see if it works for you? Well, one way to speed up that process to make sure that you see amazing results is to have people that you know and trust help you evaluate this product by trying it themselves. And as you and a group of people are trying the product, you'll be amazed, because some of those people will have dramatic results the first day. Some people within the first week, some within a couple weeks, many, most within that first 30 days. And then again, as you continue to use the product and have results, then your belief in that product gets huge. The other thing is the money. You know, there's an amazing lifestyle. Zengo's created over 100 millionaires. There's so many of us out there that I don't know why anyone would believe that they could not be one of them. However, if that individual, if you are not surrounding yourself with those people who are making money, and you're maybe in a small community somewhere and your upline maybe is in even a different state or a different country, there's no local events going on, so you're never around other people who are living the life and have already accomplished what you want to accomplish, it might not really seem real to you. So to make it real, the best way to make it real is to help you get off to the biggest, fastest start as possible. In your first 30 days, to make sure that you make enough money to cover the entire cost of getting involved and to make a profit. Because if you can do that, then you'll believe that that's a great way to start, and as you share this opportunity with other people, you can tell them about what you did in your first month. Powerful. You do that, and you'll bring in other people who came in really great and got off to that first 30-day start and covered the cost of getting involved and made a profit, and that's going to advance you to the next level, and you're going to make even more money. And as you continue to duplicate that process, your belief system's huge, because the first month you made money, and the next month you made a little more, and the next month you made a little more, and your people are making money too, and that's exciting. So how do we develop that belief? How do we believe in the products and believe in the money? Well, it matters how we come in. If you come in a very small way, it's going to take a lot longer to develop that. You come in a big way, big and bold. I'm excited. I'm committed. I'm going for this. Then your belief system already at the very start of it is huge. It's like jumping in the water or dipping in your toe. I mean, what's the best way to get in? Just jump in, be all in, just go for it. So let's just talk about the different ways. So good, better, and best. A good way to get started in Zalo is to sign up and commit to a 200 ADP. Now you'll notice I don't even have 100. Well, 100 ADP is not a good way or a better way or a best way. It's the minimum way. And it's okay because I always give everybody this information, good, better, best. Let them know the minimum. And some people start at the minimum, and that's okay. We love people right where they are. We walk with the walkers and we run with the runners. But we give them all the information so that they can make an informed decision, and then we respect that decision. So yes, a minimum way to get involved would be to come in for 100, but it's not really even a good way because you'll be missing out on a whole lot of bonuses even in that first 30 days if you're not being able to get second-level power starts and second-level customers and so on. So let's just, a good way is 200 ADP. And then we want to pick a Nothing Beats free pack because we're going to get free product because we are going to sponsor 3 or more customers who generate volume, and if they do 500 in customer volume, you got a big group of products to choose from that are free. If you do 1,000 in customer volume, then there's even a bigger pack. So pick your pack and look at it. What do you want to get free every single month? And if it's a 1,000 customer volume pack, then that's what you're going to focus on, is developing enough customers that do 1,000 or more in volume so that in all your customer groups so that you can get that pack. So look online and look at the different packs to choose from and pick one. And then you have to pick your own ADP pack, of course. That's what you're going to purchase every single month because you need to purchase that 200 points in order to qualify for all the commissions. Now, the 200 points, again, I want to, just for those that don't understand what points are simply what we put a point value on all products because we're an international company and we sell products in the currency of that country. So in the United States, we pay dollars, but over in Mexico, they're paying pesos. But a box of Zalo has 100 points in both countries. The cost of purchasing will be different. So 200 points is what we're looking for. We want to pick that pack, and it could be ageless, it could be limitless, it could be a combination. But we're going to pick that, and then we're going to purchase that ADP pack. Now, a better way to come in is also the 200 ADP and pick your Nothing Beats free pack. But now you want to place your initial product order for your ADP pack plus all of the Zalo products. So in addition to what you want every single month for yourself, you want to get, in addition to that, all of the Zalo products. You want that because you want to personally experience all of those products. You need to have knowledge about all of those products and experience with those. And then once again, you'll have a little bit of extra product to be able to use, to share with people and sample. The very best way to come in, though, is to become a distributor on a 200 ADP, pick your Nothing Beats free pack, but place your initial product order for each of Zalo's products as well as your own ADP pack, and then some additional product for sampling, selling, and sharing with an initial test market group. Now I'm saying test market. Don't think you have to be standing there with a clipboard at the mall, and you also don't have to give away this product. Matter of fact, we recommend that you don't, that you sell it so that you can become profitable right away. But the idea is you're using the opinion approach. Now the opinion approach is really only something valid in the first 30 days. Maybe 60, 90, depending on if you're very, very part-time. But when you first get involved, you don't know anything about anything and you're not expected to, which is fantastic. You don't have to understand the compensation plan. You don't even have to remember what type of compensation plan it is because you're brand new. The opinion approach allows you to build without worrying about your credibility. See, some people are like, oh, I don't want to talk to people I know until I'm making money. Well, if you use the opinion approach, that doesn't matter, because what you say is, I'm looking at this business. It sounds incredible. It looks incredible from what I've heard, but before I make a decision, a full decision, or jump in with both feet, or however you want to phrase it, I want some people that I personally know and trust to help me evaluate both the business and the product. So would you be willing to purchase, and then whatever, a 4-day supply of this for $20 or whatever it is, because we're going to sell it out, and let me drop off some information on the business and have you look at that and try the product and tell me what you think. You know, it's amazing because everyone will do that. $20 is not a big commitment. For a lot of people, you could put together a $5 pack, a $10 pack, a $20 pack, a $50 pack, and just tell them you've got these sample packs. They could try a 2-day supply, a 5-day supply, a week supply of whatever, and allow them to experience the product while they're evaluating the business, because it's amazing. If I take a limitless before looking at this business, and as I'm looking at the video and watching the video, telling me about this amazing energy and low calories and low carbs and low sugar and low cost compared to what's out there on the market, and as I'm watching this and listening to this, I'm feeling my whole body come to life. I'm going, wow, by the end of that presentation. So it's a great way to build. So the more product that you have on hand, the more people that you can bring into this initial test market, this first 30 days, to be trying the product and evaluating the business opportunity, because you'll never get that back again. Now, what you do get again is, even though I've been in the industry for 24 years and I've been in Zango for 11 years, whenever Zango comes out with something new, I go back and use the opinion approach for that new product. Now, I certainly can't use it for the business. I can't have people help me evaluate the business, but it can help me evaluate the product, and that gives me, again, that opinion approach. It is so valuable because you can talk to anybody without any fear, without any credibility issues, because even though you don't yet have the belief, so you don't really know, you're not really ready to make a commitment, even though you think you are, and you might say you are, until your belief system kicks in and you really believe that this is all true from personal experience, you still might quit in 30 days. So it's important to develop this quickly. And this, you don't have a credibility issue, because if you do quit in 30 days, you weren't even in to begin with. That's the approach that you're using. So I just want to evaluate this. Fantastic. Now let's talk about that extra product. What are you going to get? Well, if you're focused on ageless, then I have a good, better, best suggestion for the ageless product, the extra ageless product that you're going to get. So good would be 1 extra box. Better would be 2 extra boxes. And best is the 5 boxes. Now, 5 boxes, $625, $600 if you're at a 5-box ADP. It's worth 500 points, and it'll give you 150 samples of ageless. So if you were to give people a 5-day sample of ageless, that's 50 prospects that you could, or 30 prospects that you could have try this product. If it was a 3-day supply, that's 50 prospects. So you can decide on that, and I'll give you a little bit of ideas on how to figure that out and put it together, but you can do your math, and we'll give you some suggestions. So my suggestion on the ageless is, since the cost, no matter where you are in the country, the highest tax and highest shipping is what I've got calculated here. So the most expensive that anyone would pay is still under $5 a serving. So you could sell them for $6 for a single, or $20 for a 4-day sample, and you're still going to cover your cost and make a little money. So you're going to make profit, pay for your product, and get in the black fast, and that's what's important. And a 4-day sample is fantastic. That's enough time for people to really start to notice a little bit of a difference. If you're focused on limitless, then these are the good, better, best packages. So a good way would be to come in with 4 boxes of limitless. It's $125 and 100 points. You save a little money and get a free shaker cup. Better way would be the Limitless Promoter Pack. It has 8 boxes, and then the best way is the Builder Pack, which has 16 boxes. So that's 400 Limitless packets. Now this is a fantastic approach because Limitless is very inexpensive. It's less than $2 a serving. So now you can sell them for $3 for a single, or 2 for $5, or 5 for $10. And that 5 for $10, a lot of people do the 5 for $10 because it gets them down to $2. You're still making money, and you're still covering the cost of your product, and you're still getting in the black fast. So Limitless is a fantastic way to do to promote with your test market because people notice a difference in 10 minutes. Now we're going to do our test market. So when we do our test market, we have to order our product, and again, good, better, best, extra product for test market. So I recommend the best because the more inventory you have on hand, the more people that you can include in that first 30 days. And we're really going to talk about the first couple of days here because when we've ordered our product and it's on its way, we're going to do our 48-hour training, which we'll do in a little bit. But in that training, we make a list, and in that list, we're going to put builders and buyers on the list. So a builder would be somebody who would be good in the business. They might be a center of influence. They might be a business owner already, somebody who's already successful, somebody who understands money. So builders, buyers. Buyers are people who you think would love to order the product. They're going to be your customers. Many of the buyers convert to distributors sometimes by accident just because they love the product and they tell everyone they know, and of course they want to help their friends be able to buy it wholesale, and they end up signing up their friends as customers. The next thing you know, they're making money and they become builders. But buyers are product needy people. So when you look at buyers, like who do you know that's struggling from any age-related symptom, or who's struggling with energy? So we make our list, builders and buyers. We want both. And now we're going to call and invite them using that opinion approach. So you know how I've been looking for a business? Well, I came across this company. It's actually an 11-year-old company. They built a billion-dollar brand, opened over 40 nations, and created over 100 millionaires in their first 10 years. But they just launched a brand new division. And in this division they have, now just use one product. So if you're talking to somebody that's older, you're going to talk to them about Ageless, just talk about Ageless. If you're talking to somebody who's younger and you want to talk to them about Limitless, or if somebody in between, you could also do a combination and have some product for both. But I really recommend in your first meeting you pick one, Ageless or Limitless, because we're going to talk about this one product, single product focus. This one product, we're going to have everybody sample the same product. Then we're going to invite them to a meeting, and we're going to all share our experiences with that product. Now, you could do Ageless the first week and Limitless the second week. So you can actually do both, but pick one. So we're picking one product and one focus, and now we're going to call everybody up. And I've been looking for this. Well, they just launched this anti-aging product. There's actually different theories on aging, and they've actually considered all the theories on aging, and the top 3 that have the most credibility and the most people that believe that that's the correct theory, they have put together a formula with ingredients that address all of them. And you know what, I'd like to send you some information and stuff, but what I'd really like you to do is try the product. I can give you a 4-day supply for $20. My product's coming in on Wednesday. Are you going to be home Thursday? So Thursday's the day, if your product's coming in on Wednesday, Thursday's the day that you're going to drop off product and pick up checks. They're not going to be home. You know what? Fine. Why don't you just leave the product by the front door? Or is there a place I can leave the product? Oh, yeah, by the front door there's, whatever. Great. Why don't you leave a check there for me, put it in an envelope. I'll pick up the check and I'll drop off the product. If they are going to be home, then you're going to be meeting them in person, dropping off the product, picking up the check. So this is a day that you're going to actually be getting in the black. You might have 30 places to go. Get out MapQuest and put in all the locations and then make yourself a little route. It's kind of fun and you're just driving around that day, dropping off product and picking up checks. That day, depending on how many you do, you might have already covered the cost of your product, made a little bit of profit to cover your own, and already be almost in the black. But now we're going to do our home meeting. So I recommend the home meetings about a week later. So if, in fact, your product was coming in on Wednesday, and you'll know because you log into your back office and look at your product and you click on your little shipping tracking link, and it'll tell you when your product's going to be delivered. So if it's coming in on Wednesday, then Thursday is the day you're dropping off product and picking up checks. And you're going to invite people to your home. And the weekends are oftentimes good, Saturdays or Sundays. A lot of times Sunday afternoon's really good because most people don't have anything going on Sunday afternoon. So whatever time you want to do it, it could be Friday night. For a lot of young people, if you're focusing on Limitless and MB30, Friday night, they just got paid. Friday night's a great night. So whatever it is that you're going to do, depending on your market, your schedule, where you're going to do this event, we recommend that you do it in your home, but some people are like, oh, I can't do it in my home because maybe you're just renting a room in somebody else's home. But if that's the case, then you think of the best person you know that has a great home that you would love, that people know and that people like to go to their home and say, would you do me a favor? Just got involved in this business. They're going to be part of your test market. You know they're going to show up because it's in their home. And then you let them know, I want to get some people together and just have a little potluck and wondered if I could do it in your home. A lot of people say, absolutely. And so that's also another fantastic way. But whatever it is that you do, some people will do it in a restaurant, maybe at a buffet, get a back room. But I recommend your home potluck if possible. And here's the reason why. If it's a potluck, people are bringing a dish. So there's more of a commitment for them to show up. And if you do this and you know what they'd make really well, then you could say, could you make your chili? I love your chili. Could you bring that? And so if you don't come, we're not going to have the chili, and that's going to be a problem. So you're much more likely to come if you're committed to bring a dish that I asked you specifically for than if you're just showing up with a whole group of people. So potlucks are fantastic, and you're going to tell them when it is, so maybe it would be the next Saturday or the next Friday night or the next Sunday afternoon, whenever it is. And you give them the product, you pick up the check. Now, when you go home, that night is when I would put them into my power system and send them some information. I don't want to send them any information beforehand because I don't want them to make up their mind and say, I don't know, or maybe now they're out there Googling and doing research and finding out this and that or whatever. So I really don't want them to have any information until I drop off product and pick up their check. And now I'm inviting them to this meeting. Now one way to invite to the meeting is, hey, what are you doing next Saturday afternoon? And people will, their initial response is nothing. Why? If they're not. If they are, they'll tell you what they're doing. Don't say, hey, would you be able to come to my house to a meeting that I'm having next Saturday afternoon? Because they're like, oh, a meeting? I don't know about that. Well, I don't know. I think I might have soccer practice with my kids or something. So what are you doing next Saturday afternoon? Nothing. Why? Great. I'm inviting a bunch of people over to the house. I want to have a potluck, just kind of share experiences and see what everybody thinks about the product. But I just thought it would be fun to get together. So we might spend 20, 30 minutes talking about that and then just socialize the rest of the time. Fantastic. Now it sounds like a party, so they're going to come. Now at your home meeting, you want to have your sponsor there or somebody in your upline. You want somebody that is making money. Now, if your sponsor is kind of new in the business too, you want them there for sure, but somebody in the upline that's making the money. They can answer compensation plan questions. They can answer the questions that you can't answer yet because you're brand new and you're just really checking this out to see if this is what you want to do with the rest of your life. So you need that person, though, that can answer all the tough questions. So how do you do it? If they're local, invite them over. If they're not local, Skype them in. There's a lot of, put them on a conference on the phone and put on speaker. It doesn't matter. So have somebody in your upline who's making money, who can answer all the tough questions, available at that meeting. And at the meeting, you welcome everyone, a little bit of socializing and snacking and whatever, and then gather everybody. All right, everybody, let's come into the living room and we're going to do this presentation. Now, you know what's really great is they have smart TVs now if you haven't bought a TV in the last couple of years. And on smart TVs, you can actually connect them right to the Internet. And right on the Internet, you can connect to YouTube. So I just said you shouldn't send a prospect a YouTube video. That's true, but it doesn't mean you can't play YouTube videos on your smart TV because nobody's seeing all that stuff there. And my power system puts all the stuff that we're doing, all the best presentations and stuff, is on my YouTube channel. So you can actually access them through your smart TV by simply going and finding videos from Zango, the MB30 movement, or maybe some of your own that you find that are incredible. Dr. Templeman has some amazing videos that are great for educating people about aging. And you can, even any video that you find, you can create a YouTube channel and then save them to a favorite list. So I have one favorite list that's MB30 videos. When I'm doing an MB30 party, I have it playing. And it's just going through one video after the other, after the other, after the other, that's sharing their experiences and just fun MB30 stuff. If I'm doing an ageless party, then I've got a playlist that is playing all of the videos Dr. Johnson just did, fantastic, which are all in my power system. They're also on my YouTube channel. The videos are Dr. Johnson talking about what to expect when you take ageless and what the theories of aging are, and another one on the ingredients and the actual product, and you just have those playing, and then some fun Zango videos on conventions and whatnot. So I actually have those playing on a smart TV in my big room, and then in my living room I have another smart TV I'll connect the computer to and sit and give them a presentation. And when I give a presentation, I'll actually do a PowerPoint. And again, my PowerPoint, if you wanted to use my own, is available on our blog. You can download it, but I recommend that you make it your own. Put your picture on it. Put your story on it. Just make it, customize it, because it's all about building your posture as a leader in the eyes of these prospects. So use the tools, but make them your own. So at this home meeting, after that, we gathered together in the living room, and now we're doing a presentation, and we do that. Or a lot of times I'll start the meeting with the stories. And so I can do my presentation first, or I can just start with the product experiences. But this is what you want to do. During the 7 days, first of all, you sent them some information. You're sending them some information from my power system. One, you're going to send them the Ageless Pack, which is just all product information. A few days later, you're going to send them the Business Pack, which talks about the business opportunity, and there's actually a presentation on that. And a few days later, whatever, so you're sending them information, health education videos or whatever, depending on your focus. But during this time, some of those people called you to tell you about the amazing results that they had. And they're just blown away. They can't believe it. They haven't slept through the night in 32 years or whatever it is that's happened. They're going to call you so excited. So you've got a little notebook going and you're taking notes. After the 3 or 4 days, depending on if you've got a 4-day sample, which I recommend that you do, after the 3rd day, call them if they haven't called you. Some of those people haven't even tried the product yet. Or maybe somebody tried it and didn't like the taste. It's like, have you ever thought about mixing it with juice? Oh, no, I didn't think of that. Or whatever it is. So you want to call them, say the 4th day, and see what their results are, and then walk them through any issues that they might have. So they're not using it because they stirred it instead of shaking it, or whatever it is. And you can help them with that and walk them through it and make sure that by the time your party comes, they've had the experience. Some of those people that when you call them, they're going to say, I don't know, I haven't really noticed anything. But you're inviting them to your meeting anyway, because when they come and you're going to share experiences, you're going to call on the people who had the biggest, most dramatic experience first. And so you're going to say, hey, John, you were telling me that you called me the other day and told me, can you just share with the group what you shared with me? Let them tell a story. Call on the next person who you know. And call on the people you know. Anyone else? Would anyone else here like to share anything? And some of those people who think they didn't have an experience, or maybe some of those people who haven't even tried their product yet, are listening, not to you, the person they might think is trying to sell them, but to everyone else, just talking about their experiences. And they're like, wow. Now they're like committed. Now they're like, oh, you know what, I noticed that. I didn't even think about it, but you're right. And all of a sudden, it's amazing. And so we show them the business, we talk about the money, we invite them to join. Now when we invite them to join, we're going to offer them, of course, good, better, and best, and some will come in as just customers. Others will come in the minimum way, but some will come in good, some better, some best, but all of that volume that you do, you're going to get paid a fast start check next week. If you bring them all in as customers first, it's 15% next week. And then when they're ready to convert to distributors, as soon as they convert on that first order, it's 25% the next week. So very exciting. Those that come in the best way, of course, we're going to duplicate that with them, and you're going to go help them do their test market and their home meeting and still have that person upline who's making the money available to talk about the money. And as you duplicate that, now the next week, they're covering the cost of their product and getting in the black and making a little money, and you're making even more money. So in your first 30 days, if you really do this and jump on board, in a week and a half you could have your first meeting. A week and a half after that, you could be helping your people have their first event. Within that first 30 days, you could have duplicated yourself at least once and be a 5K or above. Now that is a story. 1K minimum in 30 days, absolutely. Many people, by using the Customer First program, go 1K in a day. But 5K in 30 days is absolutely possible if you come in the best way and you really do this with as many people as possible. So let's talk about the results. If you invited just a dozen people that came to your party, and you're going to find, again, some will do this, some will do that. 80-20 rule, a lot of people will be customers, some distributors, but some will come in the best way. So you're going to find out that you're going to have earned enough money from the commissions of that combined total of initial orders, plus what you already got when you dropped off product and picked up check. You're already in the black. You already have a profit, and you've already got a money story going on. And again, if you duplicate that and get your people, even if it's 2 weeks later, that's still within that first 30 days, depending on the time of the month you came in, you could be 5K and have duplicated yourself, and oh my goodness, watch how fast your business goes when you have that kind of a belief in what you're doing. And when you tell everybody that you start, let me tell you about my first 30 days. This is what I did. This is what my experiences were. This is my results. Really? Then they come in the same way. And if they come in the same way and they do that, you'll be amazed at how quickly you can get to 5K, 20K, Premier, and beyond. For those of you who want to go on the very first Zalo trip, Zalo 1, this is absolutely the way to do it. Customer first, what does that mean? Well, Zango has a customer program where every customer that orders product, whenever they place a product order, you get 15% on it. If they're your customer. If they're the customers of your downline distributors, you also get paid on their customers, depending on what level they're on, the different percentages. You have to be on 200 a month to get paid on your distributors' customers, but that's weekly also. So customers are fantastic ways to build the business, even if they want to come in as a distributor. Now here's why. As a distributor, and you can attend compensation plan training to learn all about the compensation plan, but we have some amazing rank advancement bonuses. Actually, almost $200,000 in rank advancement bonuses that you can earn in addition to your weekly and monthly and quarterly checks. But there's a time limit on getting the extra money. So as you hit these different ranks, you get paid a rank advancement bonus. If you hit them within a certain time limit, they're almost double. I mean, they're just huge. So the clock starts the day you become a distributor. I bring people in as customers first. I help them focus on nothing beats free and get their product free. That means they're sponsoring 3 or more customers. If they've done that and they're duplicating that, then I can see that they are talking to people, sharing the product, sponsoring people, which are required activity for somebody to be successful as a distributor. If they never engage, I get that 15% on them forever. If they do engage, then I'm only going to get 3%. But I get that on them, and then 5% on all the people they sponsor, and then 5% on all the people that those people sponsor, and I get that leveraged income, which is way more significant. Customer first, the clock will start the day they convert to a distributor. If they build enough customers first, not only are they going to get their product free, but then the day they convert to a distributor, they could actually be 1K in one day. Huge. So how do you want to get started in Zalo? Good, better, or best? How fast do you want to build, and where do you want to go? All right, that concludes my Getting Started training, which is what I give to a brand new person right when they're signing up to help them decide how they want to get started. At this point, generally, they become a distributor. They become a customer. I help them then focus on their nothing beats free pack and talking to people. And some of these people will actually, even though they're coming in as a customer first, they're actually coming in the best way. They're just coming in as a customer first because, again, we're going to do our 48-hour training. We're going to make our list. We're going to talk about this event that we're going to plan and all of that. And if they actually do it, many of them will convert to a distributor on the day of their party, which is pretty exciting. So this is the good, better, best. Now we're going to go into the next part. 48-hour assignment and training. There's a 48-hour assignment that's available on the blog at ourpowersystem.com that you can download, fill out, and share with your sponsor. We recommend that every time you sponsor a new person, you have them fill out the 48-hour assignment. If you're the new person, this is your training. If you're the distributor bringing in the new person, this training is available through my Power System as well as on the blog. What is the 48-hour assignment? Well, you're going to simply complete an assignment which will include your list, your goals, who your upline is, and all of this. It'll help you develop a 6-month game plan for maximum results and profit. So download it on the site. It's actually at ourpowersystem.com/training. In the 48-hour assignment, there is a new distributor checklist. In the new distributor checklist, it's going to ask you to complete your goals, your prospect list, and your time management. You're going to review the pre-distributor training, getting started training, and the compensation plan. You're going to sign up and set up your MyZango office at myzango.com, your MyPower System at mypowersystem.com, a Facebook account at facebook.com if you don't already have one. And do or not, you're also going to plug in to all of the Facebook communities that can help you be successful. You're going to plug in and commit to your first 30 days training, webinars, conference calls, the next local event, the next regional event, and the next national event. Now, Long Beach is in October of this year. It's already on my calendar. I already have tickets to it. I'm already committed to it. The next, actually, international convention is in September of 2015 in Las Vegas. It's already on my calendar. I'm already committed to it. You should have all of the events that are coming up on your calendar and make commitments to attend those events. You want to identify and get to know your sponsor and then upline from your sponsor. The first upline who's a 5K or above, and then the next person upline who's a 20K or above, the next person upline who's a premier or above, and the next person upline who's the $1 Million Club member, because you're going to talk about the millionaires, and you always want to talk about your first upline millionaire partner. And you can talk about more, but these are the minimum. So we're going to identify and get to know them, and on the assignment, there's a place to fill all of this out. So you as a new distributor, giving it to your new person, you're going to fill that out because they won't know how to find it without you, and give it to them. If you're the brand new person doing this, you get with your sponsor and have them give you this information and put it on your list. We also have several resources that you need to plug into, mypowersystem.com and then ourpowersystem.com. That is our support website for everyone. On ourpowersystem.com, you don't have to be a member, and a lot of the tools and the training and information that we do is all available on the blog for everybody. Zengosphere, that's the Zengo blog, and that plugs you into the Zengo community. Of course, your myzengo.com site and the different Facebook groups, Zengo Juice, Zalo Experiences, My Power System, and more. So if there's other Facebook groups that you want, you're a new person to plug into, add those to the list. And on there is, again, it's the list. It's on the 48-hour assignment, and so you're going to write in all of these things for your new person and give to them when the next webinar or local event, etc. So all that information is on the form. The next thing we're going to do is talk about your time management. See, very few people think they actually have time to build the business. Everybody's just crazy busy these days, it seems like. But a lot of times the things we're busy with, we don't have to be busy with those things, and those things may not be doing anything to help us accomplish any of our goals in the future. They're busy work. So by putting your time down and actually looking at what you have to do, if you have a job, you have to go to work, so you put those hours in there. But if you have a lunch break, you leave that time free and put it's lunch break. We're going to identify the time you have to build the business, because there's time before work, there's time after work, there might be time at lunchtime or in the evening. So there's certain time you have to do other things when you can't be doing the business. And those things you're going to put down, and then the rest of it you're going to look at and see. And as you review this 48-hour assignment with your sponsor, according to their schedule and your schedule, you're going to find your time that you both have available to be able to work with each other. Because you definitely are working with your sponsor. And for some people, it might not be your actual sponsor, but your sponsor will plug you into the person in the upline that they think is the best person to mentor you. I have distributors who, they're not mentors. That's okay. They don't want to become premiers and build giant businesses. However, they believe in the product, and they do know people that are looking to make money, and they want to help them, and so they do sponsor people, but I'm the one that does the mentoring. I'm the one who is the person that they would work with, and that was just an agreement I had between myself and that particular distributor, who's a doctor and very busy and just doesn't have time for this, but does absolutely want to create an additional stream of income and makes referrals, and so I'm the person. So whoever it is, your mentor, I should say. So it could be your sponsor, it could be your sponsor's sponsor, but really it's going to be your first business partner is who it's going to be. And you've got to put time that you can both work together. And then I actually have a separate sheet for making a sacrifice. See, long term, these are the hours I'd like to have to build the business, but short term, I will put every waking minute of my day into this. I will get up an hour early. I will go to bed an hour later. I will take a personal day once a week or a vacation day or whatever it is that I'm going to do. I'm going to sacrifice, and I believe 90 days. I think 3 months. You make a sacrifice for 3 months and you focus on the good, better, best and get your first 30 days off. And the next 30 days, you're helping your people get them off to the fastest start possible. In 90 days, you could be at 20K. I mean, and you could be making enough money to quit your job and then be able to get rid of all that time and put it in the business and not have to sacrifice other time. So I believe in the sacrifice. But again, you decide for how long. Do you want to sacrifice for a year, 6 months, 3 months is what I'm really hoping for minimum. But some people only give me 4 weeks. That's fine. I'll take what I can get because once again, I honor the people for where they're at. I give them the information. I let them make their own choice, and I respect that, and I work with them accordingly. Then we're going to write our goals. There's a goal setting sheet that's in that 48-hour assignment, and you need to set them and you need to write them down. The reason I have that printed form is writing it down. There's something magical about writing it down. I believe in using all the electronic devices, and you can do this online. However, writing it down is something magical that happens when you're doing that. You're putting part of yourself into that. There's emotion going into that. When you're reading something you wrote yourself that you wanted. Now, interesting enough, is a lot of successful people who don't think that this applies to them. And I was one of them. For years, I didn't write my goals down because they were in my head. I knew what I wanted, and I went for it. And I obtained a lot of things. But one day, I actually wrote them down, and it was after hearing about this Yale graduating class, 1953. They did a study. And so when I first heard about this, I'm like, well, Yale, everyone's already successful, right? They're Yale graduates, or they're Yale University. You can't even get into Yale unless you're a very successful person, right? You had to have gotten fantastic grades and done all these things to be able to get into Yale. It's not like the community college. So I can understand why only 3% of that class actually did it. The entire class was asked to write their goals, but only 3% did it. The other 97% didn't do it at all, or they were incomplete, or they just, jotted some stuff down. 20 years later, they did a net worth of all of the members of this class. The 3% who actually wrote their goals had a greater combined income than the other 97%. 3% combined income greater than the combined income of 97% of the Yale graduating class of 1953. If that doesn't say something to you about the importance of writing goals, I don't know what ever will, because that's what did it for me. Dreams become goals when they're written down. Find a goal big enough to inspire you, something that will help you unleash your power. Goals give you a vision. They keep you pressing on. They need to be written. They need to be specific. What exactly do you want? Not just, I want to make money. I want a new car. What kind of car? What color? What year? Leather seats. Measurable. So you want to know when you want to accomplish this goal. So you want it quantifiable. I want to earn $500 per week. Time focused. You have to know when you want to accomplish this goal. So it's got to have a date and it has to have a deadline on it. And write in present tense. So if you want to become a 5K by January 20th, 2014, then say and write in there, it's January 20th and I am a qualified 5K. So what you want to accomplish, you want to specifically what you want, deadline, write it in present tense, and as you're reading it, and read them every single day, you're empowering your mind. You're kind of programming your mind to help you draw from the powers of the universe to help you attract and create what it is that you want to create. None of that matters, though, without action. But the action comes as a result of the belief system in your mind and telling your mind, this is going to happen. Because whatever the mind of man can conceive and believe, it can achieve. Quote by Napoleon Hill, so true. Think about all the amazing things that have happened in this life. We sent a man to the moon. After 2,000 years, I mean, can you imagine back 2,000 years ago, people were looking up at the moon thinking, wonder if it would be possible to go there. Well, it was always possible, but it wasn't until somebody believed it. They saw it. They created that vision. They believed it was possible. They wrote the goal. They did the time. They went out and did everything that they could do to make it happen, and they accomplished it. So it's not just about vision. It's not just about taking a picture of a new car and putting it on your bathroom mirror. That's important because that keeps you going towards your goal. The action will get you there, but writing the goals gives you that game plan and that belief and that commitment to yourself. This is what you're going to accomplish. So this is all on the 48-hour assignment. There's a section 2. But what's important to you? Early retirement, travel the world, be debt-free, have time freedom, financial security, and then others so that you can write in other things that are important to you that may not have been included on this list. If you just won the lottery for $5 million in order of priority, what would you do or buy with that money? Be specific. What's your most important goal to achieve as a result of your new business? What's your monthly income goal in 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, 3 years? This helps me in a lot of ways. It helps me set a realistic expectation for you in a game plan. Because if you put your monthly income goal in 3 months as $10,000, I won't say it's not possible, but I would say if included in that you had a very short list of contacts and only 2 hours a day to do the business, then I would say, I don't think that's really realistic, and I would give them a reality check, and I would try to set and help them establish goals that can be accomplished. Because if you accomplish these goals, each little step, one at a time, that's going to empower you to the next one. But you don't want to set yourself up for failure. So this will help me with that realistic goal setting and accountability to help them accomplish their goal. Another reason I need this is because I need to know your why, not my why. I need to know your why if I'm going to help you be successful. Albert Einstein once said, your imagination is the preview to life's coming attractions. So what do you want? Write a description of what your perfect day would be. Where would you wake up? Who would you wake up with? What would be the first thing you'd smell, hear, see? As you get out of bed, what kind of floor? Your feet are going to touch carpeting or wood flooring or granite. What is it going to be? And what are you going to do first thing? Where are you going to go that day? What are you going to experience that day? Describe your day from the moment you open your eyes in the morning to when you close your eyes at night and go to bed. What would be your perfect day? Write it down. Be as descriptive as possible. This is something that really helps me with a brand new person, because some people are in this for the money. Other people are in it to service. Other people want to help other people with their health. Other people want to make enough money to be able to quit their job and stay home with their children. Some people want to make enough money to travel the world in 5-star luxury and to own a yacht and an airplane and a dozen awesome automobiles. I mean, whatever it is, I need to know what's motivating you if I'm going to help you be successful, because I can't motivate you or inspire you with my why. Because here's why this is so important. Every person will experience at least once, and for most of us, dozens of times throughout our career, a bad day. A bad day when sometimes we just feel like we want to quit. A bad day where your very best person, you brought in all these people, you had that amazing first start, 30 days, 60 days, everything's going fantastic. You got this one kind of superstar, and then something happens. The birds got them. They're gone. They're gone, the group, and all of a sudden you're just like on your knees thinking, oh, and you want to quit because you think it's over. Well, when that happens and you come to me thinking you want to quit, I'm going to pull this out and I'm going to say, you know what? You said you wanted to put your kids through college, or these are the things that were important to you. Have you found another way to do that? Well, no. Well, then I think what we need to do is pick ourselves up, dust ourselves off, and get back to work, because you said you wanted to, and then I'll bring out their perfect day. You can do this. This happens. This business is a roller coaster ride. It is an absolute thrill. But there are times on certain roller coasters when you're at the top of that big drop looking down where you're like, oh crap, I guess I'm going to get off. No! Just for a minute. Scares you, freaks you out, wish you could get off the ride. But then when the ride's over, it's like, let's do it again. That was awesome. It was incredible. Throughout everything that you're going to experience in this business, you're going to have thrills, you're going to have successes, and there's going to be times you're going to want to quit. This is when you pull out the stops. And then you list. Your list is your greatest asset. So it's kind of simple. Do's and don'ts of making a list. Do make it as long as possible, and don't ever prejudge anyone. You never know who's going to do it. People you think you will, that will, won't, and people that you think won't, will. And some that you think will. But you don't know. And it's not just about them either, because it's about who they know. See, in this business, it's all about creating teams that create volume. So I could sponsor a dud who sponsors a dud who sponsors a dud who sponsors a stud. I want to share this with everyone. I'm not going to prejudge anyone. So I want you to make your list as long as possible. We're going to put everyone on it. We're going to use a memory jogger to help us make the list. So 25 to 200 people is what we recommend, 25 initially. So right then and there, I want to help you, right at the 48-hour assignment, get at least 25 names on the list. These are the people we're going to do the opinion approach and invite to our first meeting. But over the next 30 days, we're going to keep talking and keep talking and keep sharing to get to that 200 mark. And maybe somewhere in between, but we want it as long as possible, so here's your list. Identify them. Who do I know that is? An accountant, a baker, etc. In the left column, put people who are successful, people who are people, or people who have a strong influence over others. All of those are great business candidates. They're already successful, or they're just people. People just love them. They just attract people. Everybody loves them. Or they have a strong influence. Maybe they're a community leader or a church leader or somebody who has an influence over other people. These people you're going to contact with your upline assisting you. Now the memory joggers, so people in your life, relatives, doctors, people who are your people that are in your life, and then who do you know that is a fire chief, business manager, dancer, artist. There's all kinds of things just to jog your memory, make you think of people. Who sold you your last house, car, boat, office supplies? Who's on your Christmas list, is ambitious, active in your church? Who do you know from an old job or who teaches your kids? It's just go through this and you'll think of so many people. Even if you've been in Zango for 10 years, you will think of so many people if you go through this list if you haven't already. And then write them down. It's the name, phone number, email, address, when we contact them, whether they become a distributor or a customer, and then when we do their 48-hour training when they sponsor in. So this is a 48-hour assignment. I give it to a person when they sign up, even when they sign up as a customer first, and then we get back together within the next 48 hours and we review the list, we review the goals, we review everything, and we make a game plan and action plan together, and we make a commitment together for the next 30, 60, 90 days, partnering together to help them and you achieve your goals. All right, that concludes the 48-hour training. Now the last part of this training that we're going to do is talking about my power system. My power system is a way that if you do it systematically, it's a system that has amazing tools that you can share. But if you do it systematically, again, everything is systematically, then you're going to accomplish some amazing things. So we talked about that first 30 days and the test market and all of that and bringing people in that develops their belief in the business and the power of it. Then we talked about that list having up to 200 names on it, right? So those are the people that we are going to share this business and products with ongoing, past that initial test market. So let's talk about my power system. My power system is $1 million system. In my power system, there are amazing tools to help you build your business, whether you're focused on limitless and the MB30 movement or ageless, whatever it is, there are specific marketing sites for that. There are specific media packs and presentations for that, specific videos for that approach. So you pick your approach, whether it's ageless or MB30, or as you become more experienced and you're able to talk about both, then you do both. Anybody I know under 30, I'm sending them this set of videos and presentations and information. I'm inviting them to a MB30 party. And then all these people over here, I'm talking about ageless, and I'm bringing them to an ageless party. But when you're brand new, you can just pick one. So on my power system for $20 a month, you can pick one marketing site, have one approach, and you can send out fantastic presentations that are already pre-written for you. They have what's called a one-touch email, where you just enter somebody in the system, drop-down box, send them an email right away, click on the ageless product pack, click send, boom. It's gone, and they receive that presentation. That presentation has several videos, one from Dr. Johnson explaining the three theories of aging, one talking all about the product and the ingredients, one talking about what you can expect, the kind of results that you can expect from the product, and so on. It's a link to the Zalo Experiences website, a link to the corporate site, information about Nothing Beats Free, so they can find out how to get their product for free. So this is a wonderful way if your lead is ageless. So we're just going to talk about that for an example. So I make my list, and I'm going to enter people into my system. And here's a fantastic way you could actually get 100,000 presentations being viewed by your team and be making 5 figures a month by using this system systematically. So let's talk about top 10 reasons. First, it's much easier to send a professional presentation than it is to try to tell the story yourself. The same professional presentation is given to every single prospect. A novice has now delivered a professional presentation. And there's virtually no learning curve. Everyone is in business. As soon as they sign the application, they get their system. It's far less threatening than a personal presentation, so no fear factor. The prospect views the presentation on their own in a non-pressure environment, letting them sell themselves. A variety of presentations hit a variety of hot buttons about the product, making money. So most questions that might be in the mind of your prospect, they're answered before they're even asked. You can send out several presentations a day where it's very difficult to do that many personal presentations or tell that many stories. The speed and the growth of your entire organization is enhanced 5 to 10 times what it would otherwise be, which means you can hit Premier 5 to 10 times faster. Follow-up's easy. You just say, what did you think? Then you put them on a call with your upline. Show them the team support. And everyone wants a system. All new people want a system. They're scared. They don't know they do this business. You sell them a system that does everything for them. Practically, you just make your list and enter people in them and follow up. They're like, wow, this is incredible. And now they feel like they can do it. So My Power System can be a standalone system, or it can be integrated and used with any other system or plan of action that might already be in use. My Power System is a distributor system. There's other great systems and tools out there that you can use to sell products or to for e-commerce or to share information. But My Power System not only has the tools to help you present to a customer or a distributor, but also to close, to follow up, to train. Like this very training I'm doing right now is a tool in My Power System that My Power System can send to your brand new people and train them. Use the tools. How do you build a business with the My Power System? Well, let's talk about the action plan. So imagine what happened if you put this into motion. You could have actually, in 6 months, 400,000 presentations being viewed by prospects of your team members. And we're going to talk about just experiencing a 5% success rate. So if you take average of 80-20 rules, 80% of the people that you share something with won't be interested, 20% will, but of that 20%, 80% will be small-time, part-time, but they won't duplicate, but that 5% or that 20% of them will. That makes 5% out of the 100. So we're going to talk about a 5% success rate. So with that 5% success rate in this system, everyone's sending out 100 presentations their first month and then 25 a month after. By the way, I send out way more than that. 100 presentations an entire month, if you did some every day, is only like 3, 4 a day. It's very, very accomplishable. I mean, you just go online, enter a new person in, and click send. So 100 presentations the first month, 25 a month thereafter, and everybody experiencing a 5% success rate. So how do I get started? Become a distributor or customer first, see that training. So we're going to eventually become a distributor, and then we're going to do our getting started training to figure out the best way to get started. So we are going to get started to develop our belief in the business, to believe in the money. So we got our belief factor going. We're totally committed. Signed up for my power system. We're going to do our 48-hour assignment. We're going to do our test market. We're going to make our initial list of 100 people using the warm market wizard in my power system. So we've already done all this other stuff, and now we're ready to build the business. We have our belief, we've made money, we've got our experience. Now we're doing our 100 people, and we're going to enter them in the warm market wizard and send out the initial presentation. So we send out 100 presentations in the first 30 days. Again, everything's written for you, the emails with the media packs. And we're going to follow up with each prospect within 24 to 48 hours after sending the presentation. We're going to make prior arrangements to have a strong upline standing by to assist you with three-way call support until you're able to stand on your own. You're going to continue to send out 25 presentations every single month. And then you're going to have all of your new distributors duplicate this system for a minimum of 1 year. 6-month game plan. Let's look at the results. 6 months. Month 1, you sent out 100 presentations. That's 100 presentations going in circulation. If you signed up just 5 of them, you're going to start month 2 with 5 new distributors. So those 5 new distributors are going to send out 500 presentations, and you're going to send out 25. By the way, I would send out more. I would send out way more, but this is just to show the results you could get with everybody just doing 100 first and 25 a month after. So if you do that, you've got 525 total presentations in circulation in the second month and a downline with 5 people in it. So now the 5% success rate from the 525 is 26 new distributors on your team. Those 26 distributors are going to send out 100 presentations in their first month. The 5 existing distributors are going to send out 25 presentations the next month. You're going to do 25 more. So at the end of the third month, you've got 2,750 total presentations in circulation on your team. And you have 31 distributors in your downline. The fourth month, 5% success rate of those 2,750 presentations is 137 new distributors. So those 137 new distributors are sending out 100. And the 31 existing distributors are sending out 25, and you're doing 25 more, which means you've got over 14,000 presentations going out in month 4 and a downline with 168 distributors. The fifth month, 5% success rate of those 14,000+ presentations is 723 new distributors joining your team. Times 100 is over 72,000 new presentations going out, plus 4,200 more from your 168 existing distributors doing 25 more, and your 25 more makes over 76,000 presentations going out the fifth month, and 891 distributors in the downline. Month 6, again, 5% success rate and all of that, and the new people sending out 100, the existing people sending out 25, is over 400,000 presentations in circulation in the 6th month, and over 4,700 distributors in the downline. So you want a 6-month game plan to premiere? This will do it. You send out presentations and you duplicate that. As people are viewing, some will, some won't. And as those who will come in, you offer them a good, better, and a best way to get started. And of those people, with a 5% success rate, this is what the numbers could be. Thousands of distributors in your organization, being a qualified Zengo Premier above, $100,000 a year in annualized income. You'll be touring the world with other leaders and living your dream. Now we know that these numbers might not be exactly accurate because some people will have a stronger closing rate than others. Again, it's about your belief system and your posture. It's also about your activity. So even though I'm suggesting 125 a month, I would suggest that if you have the ability to do so and you really have big goals, do 200 your first month and at least 50 or 100 a month thereafter, and then watch the numbers go. Then even at a 1% success rate, you'll have some staggering success. So however it is that you do it, this is a system, a 6-month game plan to be touring the world and living your dream. All right, that concludes the 3 things that I wanted to train. This is how I bring in new distributors. So I bring them in first, talking to them their pre-distributor training about a good, better, or best way to get started, let them make a choice. Then I give them their 48-hour assignment, and in 48 hours, review that and do the 48-hour training with them. I help them do their test market and do their first home meeting and launch their business. Help them develop that belief, because during this process they're going to be learning a lot about the product and the business and the experiences of making money. And then I plug them in to my power system for the 6-month game plan. And if, again, it's numbers. It's just a numbers game. You need to have some kind of a system to follow, some systematic approach to this. You can't just be throwing mud against the wall and hoping some sticks. But if you take consistent action every single day and duplicate that in the organization, you will experience amazing success and amazing results. So with that, I'd like to turn some time over to Sandy. Sandy, I'm sure that you've got a lot of comments about what you do. I'd like you to kind of add to that about your own specific twist that you do, as well as what results you've experienced by your consistent daily action and talking to new people every single day. And what are your numbers?
Thank you, Colli. And, of course, thank you for this training. And, of course, people are still asking, where can they get the archives? And we record everything that we do, guys, whether it's a conference call or a webinar. And everything is posted within 24 to 48 hours. It's a Saturday, so this won't be up till Monday in the back office of mypowersystem.com, as well as on the blog at ourpowersystem.com. But, it's interesting that technology has changed how we communicate, how business is done. And 2 years ago, the Las Vegas Review-Journal did a workshop. And it was free. I mean, they served you breakfast. They had the Chamber of Commerce there. They had authors there. And in the audience were plumbers, hairdressers, electricians, of course, network marketers. And what they are sharing with the masses is that if you do not embrace technology, you'll be left in the dust. But it's not to replace the belly to the belly, the meeting for coffee, having people over your home. That's still the fundamental basics. But I mean, Colli and I remember, 20, 23 years ago, we used to send out expensive packages that were always around $7 a piece, and our goal was to send out minimum 3 a day. And if you did that just 5 days a week, that's over $100 a week. We were mailing packages and then, chasing people. Did you get it? Didn't you get it? Did you look at it? Didn't you look at it? The whole process took weeks. Whereas with my power system, and it's been our dream, but the truth is, technology wasn't available till about 2 years ago to have everything in one place. And I got so frustrated with people saying, well, Sandy, what do you say? And what do you send out? And I was using like 3-4 different sources and websites. And so when Eddie, Colli, and I decided that we were going to create the ultimate tool, whether someone wants to be a customer, whether somebody wants to build an international business, this is one place where you have everything. And if you don't like the emails we've written, it's okay. Trust me, I will not be insulted. Write your own. In fact, this weekend, I'm home for the first time in ages. I'm actually going to focus on some new emails that you'll find in the Power System before I go to bed on Sunday night. So the whole weekend is going to be devoted to this. But I can tell you this. You want to have the posture I'll never forget, Colli used to teach this 20 years ago. She said from day one, you must have the posture and the belief that you're already successful. But how do you do that if you've never done network marketing before, if you're a virgin, if you've just come in just like some of the people on the call today, like David and Karen and Michael? And I mean, these are brand new people who really don't know much about Zango yet, except, of course, what I shared with them. And I can tell you, my closing ratio is beyond belief, because we really try to be servants to others and solve their problems. What are they looking for? And giving them the information they need to make an informed decision. Because if you compare what Zalo and Zango have to any other company in this profession, it's not even a close race. I mean, we win hands down. But you've got to be able to present the information professionally. And I know January was the most incredible month I've had in 21 years. But remember when I was saying in November and December, work hard through the holidays, even if people are distracted, which is understandable, but make appointments for right after New Year's, the day after New Year's, to start following up with people. We sponsored 12 people in January. Now, I don't think I'm going to do that every month, but I think, what's today, the 20-something, and I'm already at number 4 personally. So how do I do that? I use the tools. If you don't want to use the tools, I got to tell you, it's going to be a whole lot harder for you to share information in a very professional way. And like Michael just emailed us from Italy, and he wants to know, when did we get his application? Like yesterday or maybe the day before, and he wants to know if it's in Italian. Well, once Michael starts building his team, I think we could probably convert some of those landing pages and some of the key documents that he likes, because he's going to have to do the translating. I don't speak Italian. I barely speak English. So there's lots of things that we can do as we build the team. And it's all about helping you duplicate. Because unless you build your team, as much as you love the company and you love the products and you love your upline partners, you're not going to make any money unless you duplicate simplicity. And sadly, and I wrote it in the chat box, only about 3% of the people do their getting started training. Only about 3% of the people will treat this like a real business. Because if you had to do a traditional business, you better be prepared to mortgage your home and your firstborn and wait 3 to 5 years just for a return on investment. But the day you get an ID number, you have huge tax benefits. And there's a new video that we're going to be adding over the weekend that David Schmal, who's one of my new partners, and so excited they're here in Vegas, reminded me about a book I bought a couple years ago. And it's part of our new curriculum, by the way, for the Fast Track Advanced Mentoring with Millionaires Mastermind, along with Think and Grow Rich. It's the 4-year career by Richard Brooke. And we now have the video that we're going to also put into an initial, what I call a one-touch email, to take someone's temperature if they're open to serious possibilities of what their life could look like. Because if you were on our call Wednesday night, you know that we're all born with the millionaire gene. We all have that millionaire gene within us. Why is yours possibly not surfacing? We're going to help you create what you want as far as how you think You deserve to live your life with you and your family. And don't forget our Monday night call, New Year, New You, the 12-week transformation. We have a special guest Monday night. I'm so excited. Robin Webb is going to be with us. Get your guests on that call. Get anyone on that call who unfortunately has lost weight and it's found its way back with a vengeance, because we're going to teach people how to release weight, and it's not coming back. So not only are you going to love what you see in the mirror, and for me it's more important what I see in a photograph, which to me is more shocking than what I see in the mirror, and you're going to feel so good about how you feel when you get that, when you release that weight and it doesn't find its way back. So make sure you go to ourpowersystem.com, log in and register for the webinar tomorrow night. I'll update it with our guest, Robin Webb, who's going to be our guest. And we're just thrilled that you can count on us and all of your upline partners to be a part of your success story. So I think I've probably overdone what I needed to say, but I'm coming from a place of passion, because every single one of you can live your dream. I just can't promise you when it's going to happen based on your time commitment. But everyone can sacrifice by getting up an hour earlier, going to bed an hour later, disconnecting your cable. There's no excuse if you want it bad enough. So back to you, Colli.
Thank you so much, Sandy. And no, I wanted you to cover all of that because it is absolutely about the belief and it's absolutely about the action. You need to take action consistently, and the system is the best way to do that. It's about using the tools, but in the systematic approach. And that's how you sponsored 12 people in January. You probably didn't do anything different. It's just you're always prospecting, always talking to new people, always sharing information, and always filling the pipeline. And it's about having a full pipeline full of prospects all the time. And if you're always putting new prospects in the pipeline, you will always be getting some out the other end. And I know this might have been your biggest month, but you always sponsor at least a couple of people every single month. And that's because of your consistent, every single day, sharing new information with new people. And that's what it's all about. So whether it's 100 your first month or 25 a month after, or 200 your first month and 100 every month after, Sandy gets 3 to 4 new people every month minimum. And January got 12 because a lot of people are coming out the pipeline, maybe because it's January and it's a new year and they've got new goals, and there's a lot more people that, were ready to start a new year. Who knows? But that wouldn't have happened. Those 12 people would have never happened, and neither would the 3 or 4 if it wasn't for every month putting in people in the pipeline. So, Sandy, I know when I first got started 23 years ago, I heard a tape called the 10-bean method. I was told if I put 10 beans in my pocket every day, and every time I talked to somebody about my product or my business opportunity, I could get rid of a bean, and not to finish my day till my beans were gone, I would be successful. And I started doing that, and 6 months later I got my very first check in network marketing that was over 5 figures a month. So my numbers were 10 people. My numbers were 10 people a day. And I always told people that if you don't have time to do 10, because back then it was harder to do 10 because we didn't have all the tools to share. So 10 meant 10 conversations with people, and it meant, 80-20 rule meant 2 people a day needed a presentation. And I could either do them one-on-one, or I could invite them to my home and do a home meeting and maybe do 10 presentations at one time, whatever it was, but presentations. And then I had to do another meeting to do the getting started training and the 48-hour assignment, and then to bring them in and help them and all of that. So 10 people a day was really, back then, a full-time effort. But now with the tools and the systems, I think 10 people a day can be probably accomplished by anyone. But whatever that number is, what was your number, first of all, to get you to your first 5-figure monthly income? How many people a day do you set as your minimum daily contacts?
If you're asking Sandy, I'm full-time.
Yep.
So with social media, my typical goal is probably about 20 conversations a day. And if I'm traveling, it's a whole lot harder to do that. But because I think the numbers are 70 to 80% of people, which is 1.6 billion people are using social media through mobile devices. I mean, we were at a show last night. Oh, Colli, you missed this show. Oh, my heaven, $150 a ticket. And we got it through house seats. It was unbelievable. But they allowed us to use our cell phones during the show, which is very rare. And the lighting was good enough that I was able to take some decent photos with my flash. And every time I went to do a photo, I also was checking my Facebook messages and responding to people. So when you know that the technology, I mean, I think about it. I mean, I remember the days before computers. You know, most of you on this call don't remember days before computers. And I remember days before cell phones. So the whole point is, with mobile devices, right now, you should be able to communicate part-time, an hour a day, no less than 5 new people a day. I'm not talking about follow-up. And, you know, we had a special event webinar. I think it was last Sunday. I don't know, time is going by so quickly. It might have even been longer than that, with my personal coach that I've now shared with everyone, because Colli and I don't share things that we haven't proved that works. And I got to tell you, I am now focusing on building a team with Michael in Italy. I've got a new guy in Australia, someone in Norway, and they just invited me to come and speak in Colombia. Never been to Colombia. And I'm going to start using Max's training to focus on finding people to have conversations with who like health products, who like energy drinks, who want to be ageless, and start continuing to build teams literally around the world. So just decide what you want and what are you willing to do to get it. It's as simple as that. But you got to commit to constant activity.
Thank you, Sandy. And so what I wanted to everyone to understand is you've got to invite people to hear the message. So you're using Max's method on social media, and you're getting 20 conversations a day to ask questions and see if they're a good candidate, and eventually invite them to take a look at what we have to offer with Zalo. And of that, what percentage of them actually do you send a presentation to on average?
Well,
yes, send me the info.
Okay, I have a very, very rigid requirement before I send anybody anything. I have to ask the right questions, which is all about our training with MMM, with Michael Oliver and Max's script, to determine if they're laying on a nail. Are they in pain? Because people make decisions emotionally. So I keep asking questions, and then they have to answer some qualifying questions before I agree to a phone call and sending them information. So, many of them, quite honestly, are not candidates. They're just not open to change. And unless they're open to change and looking at what I have, I don't send anything. But once we determine they are open to change, then they go right into, I don't even put them in my power system until they've identified, yes, I'm looking for change, and if I like what I see, I'm ready to get started right away. And often I'll ask, well, there's always a cost to doing business. How much have you set aside to start a business? Because if they don't have 3 pennies to rub together, or they're in a country that we're not open in, and they're not prepared to pay double shipping because it has to be shipped to a country we are in, where they have to register, then that person has to send it to them in their country. It's a horrid obstacle to overcome. And I encourage people, for goodness sake, Colli, I remember our former company, we were only in United States and Canada for 7 years, and yet we were successful. We've got 43 markets that Zango's registered in legally. Why would you bang your head against the wall trying to sponsor people in countries that we're not registered in? It drives me crazy when people try to do that. So anyway, I would say...
Okay, so to the number, though, how many actually go into my power system? Give me a number a month that you actually put into the system that qualify, that meet your, that are seriously looking, and you actually put them in the system and send them information. How many of those people in a month?
I would say once they've said, I'm ready, looking for change, I'd say probably maybe between 5 and 7 that are qualified. And of those, if they can fog and mirror their mind, a week.
A week, okay.
A week. And of those, if they can fog a mirror, the majority will join. But of course, right now, my focus is how serious are you? What are you willing to commit? And if you're a serious business builder, then become a 1K in 2 hours, become a 1K in a day. But I want them to follow the process, because what I'm finding, most people want to build the business. They need to build the business, but they never get around to it. So out of the 5 to 7, that's where I usually get my 3 to 5 a month of those. But every month that accumulates, obviously, because they're getting the autoresponders. We're following up. If there's a meeting in the area in which they live, like Michael in Italy is driving tomorrow on a Sunday to attend an event in Milan. So we get the people to the closest event possible, and always letting the host know, of course, that you're sending a guest so that they can be warmly welcomed. And the people you're sitting next to knows that you're not a prospect. You're already spoken for. You're already committed to someone else. And I never send anyone to a meeting, quite honestly, unless they've already got an ID number. There would be no purpose to that. At least order some products so you know that you're committed to the relationship. So, but using the tools, Colli, has been, I could not imagine what I would do if I didn't have my power system. I think, first of all, I could not be as productive every day and do the 3-way calls and do my personal prospecting and do my social media and do my meetings and do the webinars. I
have a personal life.
Oh, am I supposed to have that? Yeah, I think so. And go to shows and go out to dinner and have fun. Absolutely. But the beauty is, with the automation, if I have to take off a month like I did last year because of a challenge we had in Philly with one of the kids, I could do that and know that what we set into motion, what is it Einstein says, what you put into motion continues, or something like that. So, you can't do this business sometime. You just can't. You have to be committed to do a minimum of an hour a day. So if somebody does 2 hours a day, someone else does 4 hours a day, who do you think is going to have more success? You don't have to be a rocket scientist to figure that one out. So you've got to do whatever you need to do to have what you want. And the key question I ask people is, what do you want? Why do you want it? What are you willing to do to get it? And what are the consequences if you're not successful? 4 questions. And you should write those questions down and then answer them in writing. And look at that every single day when you're frustrated, when you're tired, when you don't have the energy to read. And the new Advanced Mastermind, as you know, we're starting it officially in March, is going to require, we're turning up the steam. It's going to require reading 2 books a month, not 2 chapters a month for those of us who've been doing the MMM training since July. But for the advanced training, it's 2 books a month with 30 minutes of like Jim Rohn or John C. Maxwell or Brian Tracy every single day. And the beauty of that, Colli, is we already have it all in my power system. Most of it is already there. So just people don't know where to find it. That's the challenge. I mean, think about it.
Well, let me show them that now. I have a bunch of questions in the question box. Most of them are related to the resources, which I'm going to show them. If you have a question on the training, you can also put that in the Ask a Question box. And I can also see what's going on in the chat box now. So I didn't see any questions in there, but I might have missed something while I was doing the presentation. So any other questions, I'm going to answer all of the questions that are in there right now by showing you. I already put up the page while Sandy was talking about the New Year, New You program. So week 7 is Monday night. There's the link to register for that. And then you might as well register for all of them now so that you don't forget. When you register, you can put in your email. You can even put in your cell phone, get a reminder of the event, put on your calendar, etc. And if you'd like to catch up on what you already missed, if you're new, the archives are right under here. So there was the pre-launch information webinar, and there's the first 6 weeks there, and the next 6 weeks are there. So this is a fantastic effort that is done by not only Sandy, but Donna Canales and Lisa and Randy Collins. So they're all, Donna's an RN, Lisa and Randy have built a business with Faveo. So Faveo is our weight loss system in the Zango line, and because so many people think about losing weight as a New Year's resolution, it was a great time to put this into motion. So this is for those people. And again, you want to pick one product and one focus to be your primary focus to look for prospects to share the message. But as you learn about the products in the Zango line too, and you want to create multiple streams of income, and you meet somebody who has a need that you think would be a better thing to talk about for people that are looking for a good weight loss program, absolutely Faveo works. It's incredible with this 12-week program. They get all the support they need, the tools, the education, and the products are all there. As a matter of fact, Zango won the award for their weight loss program, the Ethos Award from the Direct Selling Association. So fantastic thing that's going on there. Let me show you some other things that are in here. You'll notice a new tab on the blog. It says the Power Store. And if you click on that, you're going to go to the Power Players e-store, and this is the category Mentoring with Millionaires Mastermind is what this category group is. These are the books, the 7 books that are on the initial recommended list and Sandy, when I get done showing all of this stuff, I want you to close with this and then close this up for the day. So I'm going to kind of let you finish that. But I just want people to know that that's where the store is, and all it basically is a link to purchase on Amazon, very low cost. Most of these things are, if you're Amazon Prime, come with free 2-day priority shipping, which is fantastic, and really good prices. So that's where you can go to find them all in one single place. And by the way, this is going to be increased. This is printed books here, but we'll also have an audio library and a video library, places to get all of that as soon as we find the very best vendors that we want to recommend you to. So that's what that is. Under the Training tab, you'll see the Super Saturday and the Training Center. The Training Center is where you're going to go to get, a lot of people asked about these PowerPoints and all that. They're here. PowerPoint presentations, the Getting Started, Good, Better, Best, 48-hour assignment training, the My Power System training I just did, as well as the compensation plan presentation and training. These are all the PowerPoints. So again, if you want the PowerPoints and you want to change something and make it your own and all that, they're there. The training documents, the 48-hour assignment is here. If you click on that, you get the whole assignment. Or if you just want more prospect sheets or goals, whatever it is, they're individual too. As well as on My Power System, there's your first 100 form. And I'm actually going to show you this form real quick, because if you print this double-sided, then you have a single piece of paper where you can put 100 names on that you've entered into your system. It's kind of nice to have your list with you handy that you can review and look at, but it explains the system very quickly with the 100 presentations your first 30 days and 25 a month after and 5% success rate, and what it just kind of is a quick little overview, a little information about our power system to get more, and then the valuable support and training resources that are available. So everything is on this form in kind of like one little place that makes it kind of easy to have a reference. So all of these documents, as well as links to the webinars, so this Getting Started training was the last one I did. That'll be replaced with today's recording. And then actually under this, I'm going to break down those 3 pieces, which will be in My Power System, so that you can send a prospect the individual training pieces without the entire webinar. So that's in the Training Center. If you go to the Super Saturday tab, then you see that you can register for all the upcoming Super Saturdays, and the archives are here. So today's recording will be available in the archives by Monday, and there is the compensation plan training that was done last week, the last Getting Started training. The Zalo business plan presentation and training is how to do a Zalo presentation with compensation plan, kind of training on how to do that. The MB30, how to build a Zalo business with Limitless, and the MB30 movement, no matter how old you are. And then My Power System training. This training will show you all of the tools and all the resources available for you to focus on Zalo or Surveyo or Limitless. So all that information is in there. So go to the archives, check those out. Under Zalo, you'll see a tab, and you should check everything out that's on the blog. There's a lot of great resources there. But if you want to see some of the presentations that are in My Power System, then here's some links to some of them out of our demo account. So what I do is I first put somebody in my system and I send a media pack. And what I generally do is ageless is my primary focus lead. Again, unless I'm talking to somebody who's 20, I'm not talking to them about ageless, but that's my primary focus lead product as I'm initiating conversations and looking for people and targeting, my targeted marketing effort. And so what I do is, first thing I do is I put them in the system and I send them the ageless product media pack. I want them to have information on the product without complicating. I don't want to send them too much. And then I'm going to send them the Zalo Quick Business and Product Overview. And then the Zalo Business Pack, which has more information in there. From there, and actually I might just send the first 2 in one of these. These next event presentations are different leaders who've done presentations on Zalo that are fantastic. They're all different. They all have a little different twist. You should watch them all, and then you should think which person would be able to best relate to that particular prospect and send that. So as I'm putting them in the system, and I send the first thing, and then I send the next thing, etc. So these are in there, and again, if you watch My Power System training, you can see how to access these within your system and send out to people and follow up, etc. So a lot of other presentations that are in here as well. So take a look at that. There's a whole lot more, but you can, this is a process, and you'll, as you have time, click on every link and just see what's there to be aware of it. Subscribe to the blog via email right here. Subscribe to the newsletter. Here's the link directly to My Power System on Facebook. So click there. It'll take you right to it. You can click like. If you want to search the blog for anything, there's a little search thing. There's a world time zone converter. So if you see something and you're in a different time zone and you see it's posted at whatever time is going to happen, you can actually put that in here and then look and see what time it is in your country, which helps. So a lot of great stuff that's on the blog. In Facebook, let me get to the Facebook community. Facebook.com/My Power System. So anything that gets posted on the blog gets automatically updated and posted to the Facebook group. And anything that you'd like to share in here, this is your community and your group. So we post the information on the webinars and new tools that are in my Power System Media Packs, which you'll find in here. But please share anything that you would like to see, anything you'd like to see added, if there's a special media pack that you like to send. If you're a professional, if you're at the $30 level or above, you can actually make your own media packs. You can upload your own videos, and you can make a media pack where you're the first video welcoming people to this presentation and telling a little bit about yourself and what presentation you're sending them, which is very powerful. For brand new people, it's all done for you, so all you have to do is click enter, send what's already pre-written in there. But let's say as you get some experience and you think, you know what, I'm having really good results sending this, maybe you made a media pack or you want to see one in the system that has these 4 things in it that you know are very effective and working, and post the ideas. So you can communicate with us here, you can message with us here. It's a really great place. The other thing is you can email to us at mypowersystemteam@gmail.com. So that'll go to us there, or messaging on Facebook. And my Power System, last thing, I think mypowersystem.com is where you're going to go. If you're not a member yet, get started now. $1 for a 7-day trial. I always recommend go Premier for your 7 days because it's only $1 no matter what level. So you have access to everything, and then you can decide which one you want to go to. Most people either go to the standard or the professional. The professional allows you to create your own media packs and also gives you access to all of our training. We have a lot of training that we have to pay royalties on, and therefore there's a charge for that, a little extra charge, and the ability to create your own media packs that takes up a lot of space on the system and whatnot. So it's something that we have to pay a lot extra for people who do that, so there's a little bit of extra charge. A lot of people are here, but many people just start out at the standard and access what's there and then upgrade. But go Premier for the first 7 days, because one of the things it gives you is phone support. Email support at the other levels, but at the Premier level you can get on the phone and spend an hour if you are so technologically challenged that you don't even know how to set up your site. And it's funny how, you know, different places that we all start in. So if you want, you go there and you can get all the support and stuff you need for that first 7 days, and then you can stay there if you want, or you can go to the professional or the standard. So there's the My Power System, and then everybody's asking, so let me just log in real quick, where this training is and these media packs are. So if you are going to put a brand new prospect in the system, for example, this is what I do. I would go to Contacts, and I will go to, you can do it 2 ways. If I have several people, so recommending that you do your 100 the first month of your warm market. When you're brand new, then you use the warm market wizard. And if you do that,
Colli, before you do that, make sure you emphasize they must do the boot camp and do each module so that people don't think they just go right to here.
Thank you. All right, I will do that. All right, so this is how to add them. Confirm that you know, and then you put them in. And all that's in the warm market wizard is the first name, last name, phone number, and email. Because you know the person, right? So you already know where you met them and what they do for a living and all of that stuff. And then what email are you going to send them? And so I always put everyone in and send the ageless customer. I always send them product first. Once they're in, then I go back in and my follow-up, and then I'll send them another thing and another thing. But this is just what I do. The other way to do it is to add a contact. This is if I met somebody and they're a stranger to me, because now I'm going to insert a timestamp, and I met them at this, restaurant, and they go to school part-time, and they're 23 years, whatever it is, all the details about the prospect so I can remember everything I sent them, all of that, and I put in all of their information in here, and then I put a category, if they're a Zalo prospect or a product prospect or what they are. So either way that you do it, this way too, you can send an immediate email. And again, choose which one, and I do the customer first, and then I follow up with additional emails. So this is how to use that and do that, but what you want to start with first is this training tab, Getting Started Boot Camp. When you go to Getting Started Boot Camp, there are several video tutorials that will explain so much, and I would recommend that you watch these a couple of times. It may be every day for a week to really get, and while you're watching it, be doing it, and it'll be very easy to learn. But you watch a quick video overview, first with setting up your account, so that'll teach you how to set it up, how to pick which marketing site you want, how to upload your photo and a little bio on you, how to pick which videos you want to show with the video tour customizer. I mean, it's just really amazing. So watch that video and set up your My Power system. And then, you know, how to get the help. And after you do that, testing your system, there's some tutorials, reviewing the email campaigns and all that. And then the Contact Manager overview. You notice you can't even watch these until you have to do them in order. So once I've watched this one, then I can check it off. Then I can watch this one and I can check it off and so on. So the Contact Manager is powerful, and there's a general overview video and then an advanced overview video. So, and then review your Contact Manager, and then there's some additional. So go through your Getting Started Bootcamp first so that you really get comfortable with what's in here, because there's a lot of amazing tools and resources in My Power System, and this will tell you how to find them, how to set up your account, how to put people in your contact man, and then that's what you want to do. And so once they're in there, then you want to send them whatever videos you want. Now, if you have the advanced level and you go to marketing, if you're at the $29 package or above, you can go to the Media Pack Creator and create your own media packs using all of these resources. Now, these are resources that were put into the system, but you can upload your own resources and they'll just be added to your library. So, for example, this is all the resources for Zalo compensation that were put in by the system. If you had your own system, you could add your own resources in here, and your library would have more stuff than somebody else's library because you added more resources to your library. This is your resource library. Individual resources. Some are documents, some are PowerPoints, some are videos, some are audio files, etc. And then you can actually, there's your add a new resource, which will go to your library. You can add a new media pack to make your own. And when you do that, you choose what resources you want in there. So you're going to put your description, the title, and when you go to next step, it'll say, what resources do I want? So maybe I want this resource, and maybe I want this resource, etc. You get the idea. And I'm going to add them, and I'm going to create my own. So in here in the categories, there are resources in the Zango Success School, documents and training. So a lot of these things are in here before you get started, etc. I'm actually, all of these videos that we just did and the compensation plan training, the next time you go in and log in and look, will be the first things that you will see, and we'll create a media pack on those also, and a one-touch email. So when you have a brand new person, you can actually send them the trainings, and it'll all automatically be done no matter what level you're at. See, once they're in the system with a one-touch, then everyone can access them, even if they're at the $20 level. Again, $30 or higher, you can create your own, which you'll want to do once you get the hang of this system because it's pretty awesome. All right, so again, this question just came in, but I just showed it, so let me just show it again. Here we go. So in training, under Training Center, there is the Good, Better, Best PowerPoint, and there is, oh, you know what? Thank you very much for that. It's not in the Word doc, so you will see it actually in a PDF. It'll be added under the training document, so I apologize for that. I have it in the PowerPoint, but not the training document, so it will be in there. So all of the Good, Better, Best training, all the stuff that we just did that there's a PowerPoint on, the actual Word documents will be in this resource library by the end of the day. Question, can a prospect sign up for My Power System? Yes. When you get your My Power System account, you actually put in your Zango ID number, and that is when you log into My Power System, you log in with your Zango ID number and the password you picked when you signed up. So the person is then linked to you, and if they order a product or sign up, it actually communicates with your My Zango account at Zango. So they're actually signing up under you in Zango. And if you have the premier package at Zango, which I think is like $10 a month, you can actually have a holding tank and put people in a holding tank for I don't remember how many days now, but you could do that if you wanted to not actually put them in yet, but they're in, they get their order, they get what they want, they get an ID number, but they sit in your holding tank until you sign a sponsor placement, which is really cool. But yeah, so they're signing up from My Power System, but they're signing up through your MyZango website. And question, is there a way to start over after you watched everything then in the Getting Started boot camp? So let me just bring that up again and show you. So once you've watched a video, so for example, we'll say that I watched this, I'm going to say completed, and now it'll check that off. And now I'm going to click on this, and I'm going to say completed. It'll check that off. So now you'll see those things are completed, and it's on here. Once I've completed these are all available for me to click on anytime. So I can watch right here by clicking here and learning how to set up my account using the Account Wizard. So anything that you've already watched, you can click on. Here's the video tutorial. You can click on anything that you've already watched. You just can't click on anything that you haven't watched until you're there. So that I can now watch this one or any previous video that I've already watched. I can keep watching previous videos. I think that is all the questions that we have. So with that, Sandy, I would like you to just close with any comments that you have, but start with this mentorship program that you've been doing, because the thing that's so great is I kind of do the Super Saturday trainings. Sandy and the team are doing these 12-week Surveyo resets, but Sandy is a master at personal development. And she's been doing the Mentor with Millionaires call every single month for I don't know how long now, 7, 8 months. And I know that the direction you're going, you're really, really excited about stepping it up and all of that. So those are, again, on the blog. You can register for the next webinar, etc. But tell us a little bit more about that, these specific books, and then close us up with anything else you'd like today.
Of course, Colli. Thank you again for your love, your passion, and your expertise. We're all so fortunate. But Colli's right. I remember in the 70s subscribing to Earl Nightingale's. He had a tape of the month club. And I remember listening to that first tape, and he said something like, if you're listening to this program, you're already a part of the 5% who's probably successful, but you're always striving for the next level. And I never forgot that. And I have been on a journey because I really believe we are all born with greatness. And why everyone doesn't realize this is crazy. But the reality is, when we started working with Brian Tracy, and Colli and I invested some buku bucks to have that whole video, as well as audio series as part of my power system. It's all based on the fact that if you've attended any Tony Robbins events or John C. Maxwell, Bob Proctor, you should have learned by now that everyone is born with greatness. We all have it in us, except that for some, for whatever reason, the blueprint of your subconscious mind creates the decisions and actions you do every day. And you're not even aware of it. Just like if you take, if you breathe, your heart pumps, if you want to type on your keyboard, your hands just move directly to the keyboard. You don't think about it. It's all done subconsciously. But our past and our youth, and that's why one of the reasons we're so passionate about helping the mothers of America come home, because those first 5 or 6 years of a child's life absolutely mold them for what they are going to be able to be and do as an adult. So for many, many people who seem to be stuck in fear or not feeling that they're worthy or just think that they have to settle for life the way it is. It doesn't have to be that way, but we have to change that blueprint. We have to alter the subconscious mind. And the only way to do that is to feed it with good stuff. Feed it with thoughts and words that actually alter the original blueprint. So it takes time to do this, but it has to be done on a daily basis. So we're starting this Mentoring with Millionaires Mastermind Fast Track Advanced program. Please don't bother joining this if you're really not serious about unlocking your millionaire gene. If you're serious and you want to unlock that gene of success, then you're going to commit. I'm going to do an introductory call, Colli, on the first Thursday of the month. But we will do the advanced fast track on the third Thursday of the month. So we'll do the traditional mastermind on the Wednesday nights, and the next night I'll do the Thursday night advanced track. And this is going to be some serious commitment, because you're not going to read 2 chapters a month. You're going to read 2 books a month. And I did this yesterday or the day before on a call. And the first book, of course, is The 4-Year Career by Richard Brooke. And I have the video, and we'll be doing a new One Touch, including that video. So hopefully we'll have it in my power system this weekend, and we'll create the One Touch for that. And the second is Think and Grow Rich, which we already have in my power system, and we've been doing that for almost 2 years now. But it's available in a download if you don't choose to get the hard copy book. I love the hard copy book. I mean, because I hate printing out all the pages, and then it's awkward to take all these pages to the gym, because when I do my cardio on the bike, that's a lot of times when I'm doing my reading. But for instance, in Think and Grow Rich, on the book that I have on my desk that I've had probably for 18 years, it's all yellow and sort of grungy looking with stick-em notes and post-ems and stars and underlining. It's 254 pages. So if you know you need to read this book in 2 weeks, in let's say 15 days, because February there's less days, you just divide 254 by 15 days, and you know you've got to read about 17 pages a day. So whether you leave it on your nightstand, whether you leave it in your bathroom, I know I often call that your John reading, but the point is, you know that you've got to read 17 pages a day, no matter what. Don't let anything stop you, whether you have to get up, 20, 30 minutes earlier or go to bed 20, 30 minutes later, but you've got to read 2 books a month. And this is going to be the curriculum for the first 3 months. So you can buy, in fact, most people are telling me they have almost all these books already in their library. Now, isn't that interesting? Leaders are readers. So if you, for whatever reason, don't schedule, again, leaders also schedule their day. They know, if you look at my iPhone calendar, I mean, every hour on the hour are tasks, but they have to be tasks that include income-producing tasks. So I would suggest using these links, getting the best pricing, get all 6 books or the ones you don't have. Now, there'll be some additional books we'll be adding through the course of our advanced fast track. Some will be ebooks, some will be audio files. It's like in the back office of my power system is the secret. The secret to buy that audio file, I think, is $35. It's already part of your power system. Now, knowing lives that are changed with The Secret, knowing lives that are changed with Think and Grow Rich, do you agree this is pretty important? I'm going to have Colli set up a private Facebook group, and you have to join by invitation only. And Colli, I think I'd love to call it Mentoring with Millionaires Mastermind, Advanced Fast Track. And we'll post it on the Power System and the blog so that you'll know that you can join that group. And then I want commitment every day that you post something about what you've read. What was your aha for what you read that day that we can share with everyone? And then we'll have a summary on the third Thursday of the month. But I hope you believe, as I do, that you were all born with greatness, that you all have the millionaire dream. And if it hasn't been unlocked yet, let's go do that together and make this year a huge change in your direction for your future. So with that, have an amazing weekend. We appreciate you taking the time to invest in yourself to be on these calls on Saturday. And as you can see, you don't usually run an hour. We do whatever needs to be done on a Saturday. So sometimes there'll be an hour. Sometimes they may be 2.5 hours like today. But hopefully you think your time was well invested and you will be able to review the recording when it's posted on Monday. And with that, have an amazing, amazing weekend. God bless you all.
Bye-bye, everyone.